Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Coming up this week, SeaWorld tries to run away from PETA by building a theme park in Abu Dhabi. New security areas are opening this week at Disneyland. Disney gets 2 nominations for Best Animated Feature at the Golden Globes, and almost as notable as what was nominated is what wasn't. And Disney After Hours events are coming back to the Magic Kingdom starting in January. All that coming up next. From the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida, this is the Diz Unplugged. This is the Diz Unplugged, episode 920 for the week of December 13th, 2016. The Diz Unplugged is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show, coming to you live from the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida. I'm your host, Pete Werner, joined at the table this week by my good friends, John Magi.
Hi, everybody.
Kevin Close.
Hi, everyone.
Kathy Whirling.
Hi, everybody.
Corey Martin.
Just happy to be here.
And back in the production nook, our associate producer, Rhino Clavin.
Hello.
Along with producer Craig Williams.
Happy holidays.
So, hello. Nice to see you again. It's been a few weeks. Apologize that last week, 2 weeks ago there was no show because I was feeling under the weather, did not want to get these guys sick before we did Podcast Cruise 6, which we just got back from on Sunday. And then thanks to the weather, we were unable to record the show we had planned to record on the cruise. So instead of this being our final show, this is our final live show of the year. But another show will be going up. We're pre-recording a show right after this. Another show is going to be going up next week, take the place of what we didn't get to record on the ship. We're going to talk about our favorite stories from this year, kind of our year in review show. So that will be coming to you next week. But this is our last live show of 2016. So there's that. We're on hiatus until January 3rd. We do that for those who are relatively new to the show. That's kind of a regular thing. We kind of take off the last few weeks of December and come back fresh and ready to do more things in January. January 3rd, the next live will be the next live show of the Diz Unplugged. After this, but we are still going to be doing the Daily Fix each day, with the exception of Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day. But outside of that, the Daily Fix will be going up every day, so you'll see us there. And I'm sure Craig and the boys will be producing all sorts of wonderful things in the parks.
Oh, yeah.
To go up.
Never stop working.
Never stop working.
I think you guys should do a live New Year's countdown show.
I think you should do a live New Year's countdown show.
I think we should make Kathy do it so we know she stays up till midnight.
I don't stay up till midnight.
Our problem is that about 11:30, we would stop counting.
And I think we should drop something of Pete's off the roof when it hits midnight. No?
Okay.
I think these are great ideas.
I just want to
It's just coffee.
elaborate on what you said, because you also said the 26th and the 2nd we won't have a daily fix because they're the observed holidays of Christmas Day and New Year's Day.
Rhino's making sure he gets those days off.
Rhino's like the post office, apparently.
I will not be here until after that day. That's why I'm just double checking.
Yes, that is correct. Observed holiday, we're not going to have the Daily Fix either. So.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day.
You know you'll get that one person that's going to complain. That one person out there.
Well, everybody always, they hate it. They hate it when we go on hiatus, and I appreciate that. But you know what? We pretty much every week we're doing these shows, and the end of the year we're all kind of a little burnt out.
Really? I realize it's not the same thing, but think about your favorite shows you watch on television. I mean, they don't put out a show every single week of the
Consider
year.
this our winter finale.
Yeah.
Let's make it a cliffhanger. Pete fires someone. We don't know who it is.
Yeah, really. Have dramatic music, close-ups on everybody's face. So, also want to say a special thank you to our patrons who are supporting us through Patreon. if these are folks that donate a certain amount of money every month to help offset some of the costs of producing the show and help us to pay for some of the new things that are going to be coming up next year in particular. So we thank you for that. We appreciate that. We put a lot of extra content up on Patreon just for our patrons. If you're interested in finding out more, disunplug.com, just head to the show notes page. You'll find a link there to our Patreon page with more information on what we do and how to sign up. And I want to remind everybody just about our show schedule for this week. There are no more Dreams Unlimited travel shows going up for the remainder of the year. They will resume. When are they going to go?
January 9th, we're going to start again with our next batch of shows. We just ran into some issues with timing and recording and things like that.
Also, now there's weather issues. People not being able to get here.
That's true. Tracy was stuck last night.
I heard.
Back from the cruise. So, yeah. So we just decided it would be best if we just said, let's start January 9th. So no more for the rest of the year until then.
Until January 9th on the Dream Show. The Disneyland edition with Tom Bell and his team goes up every Monday, disunplugged.com. This week, the team shares their favorite holiday traditions in the parks and at home. This includes Tom's dressing up as Mrs. Claus.
Again. Every year.
Every year. It's his tradition.
That's why they call it a tradition.
He's actually Mrs. Elf. I love you, Tom.
Oh.
I love you, Tom. And do we know what the best and worst is this week?
Yes, I do. This week is...
So every Wednesday, disunplug.com, the best and worst of Walt Disney World. And this week?
It is the 5 tips for dealing with Epcot during busy times of the year. So last week, I believe it was 5 tips for dealing with Magic Kingdom during busy times. So now we're just working our way through the parks each week in December.
That's right. I now remember recording that.
Yes. And just so
I have a
people
very
know,
short attention span.
Yeah, it'll next week on Wednesday, it'll be Hollywood Studios, and it will continue on the week after that as well. Best and Worst doesn't get a hiatus since it's pre-recorded, and it's an exclusive a week early for Patreon members, so we want to make sure you constantly have content coming out, so you will still find that every week.
All right, and this is going to be the final week for the year, this Thursday for the Universal Edition with Craig, Rhino, and Oliver. Yes. And what is this week's show about?
We are going to talk a little bit about the holidays, but there's been a ton of cool news that came out
Big
just this
news.
week. Between looking at the concept art for Nintendo and seeing some of the first concepts for patents on Universal rides, we've got a lot to go over. So
that's this Thursday live, 1 p.m. disunplugged.com, but you can also watch all of our shows, youtube.com/disunplugged. You can also catch all of the Dreams Unlimited Travel podcasts, youtube.com/Dreams Unlimited Travel. And last but not least, this is the final week of the year for Diz Pop, starring Rhino and occasionally others. And Rhino?
Well, this week we're going to end the year on the biggest movie of the year, and it's going to be a review of Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. And that will go up Thursday night immediately after we're done watching the movie. So you can probably look for that around probably like 11, maybe close to midnight, but it'll be up that night.
You're not going to live stream it from there? Is that illegal?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yeah, I
that's
would think we would get in a lot of trouble. A whole bunch of us, actually about 50 of us, are going to see the movie together on Thursday night. So very excited about that. Mm-hmm. And
it's going to be very cool. And then so anybody who's talking during the movie, I can call them out by name and swear at them a lot. So it'll be good
because
fun.
We have the theater. It's just for our friends and family.
Yeah.
We rented the theater.
You should film the audience's reaction, like they did for Blair Witch.
So that will be up this Friday or very late Thursday. Disunplugged.com. So that's it from me. And anything else for housekeeping?
Yes. This person, Catherine,
sent us
some of these cute ornaments. I really enjoy mine that has a bear on it. Thank you.
Thank
you,
you,
Catherine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the ornaments, Catherine. That's very sweet. Anything else? All right. Over to Johnny with the news.
All right, our first news story. New Disneyland security checkpoints open this week. Several new security screening areas are set to open this Thursday, replacing the current checkpoint on the west side of the Esplanade near La Brea Bakery. The new checkpoints include one at the Mickey and Friends parking structure, two at the west end of downtown Disney, and another at the downtown Disney entrance to the Grand Californian Hotel. Once the checkpoints are up and running, both theme parks and downtown Disney will all be inside the secured area, making it easier for guests to travel between the three areas. Disney's goal was to get the new checkpoints completed by the end of the year, and it looks like they succeeded.
And I think this is going to be a good thing.
I agree.
The security lines going into the Disneyland, into the Esplanade, where you get into Disneyland Park and California Adventure, could get very, very long. There's not a lot of them, so this is going to kind of break it up rather than funneling everybody into two lanes.
Right.
You're going to have it broken up between these different checkpoints. So I'm glad they're doing it. They're also saying now that what I'm hearing is that they'll be able to, and I want to be careful because I don't want to reveal anything I shouldn't, but that as a result of creating the secure perimeter throughout the entire area, they're going to be able to do things that they weren't able to do previously. So I think we might see some interesting developments over the course of the next few years as a result of this, because what they are really creating now is a complete secure perimeter as though it were its own theme park. So you've got downtown Disney and the two theme parks all covered in a secure perimeter, so they can do more. They can do more. So I'm intrigued.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, you always run into that really bad line at security when you're going into that sort of central hub area. So I think it's excellent they did it. I wonder if World can do something like that. Maybe security.
A 47 square mile perimeter.
No,
Like at the exits to I-4 and stuff?
exactly.
Two bag checks on the ramp.
No, I mean like maybe before you get on the bus at a resort. And then those folks who come from a resort don't have to go through a second time.
Well, Magic
think
Kingdom rumor is that security is going to be out at the TTC.
Yeah, we've
That's
talked
what's-
about that.
Yeah, so
Well, I think that makes more sense. Again, you want to talk about bottlenecks. It's do it on the boat launches, do it in the TTC.
But also, you think about you're securing a group of people, and think of what can happen on the ferry boat. I mean, who's securing the ferry boat?
If you get on before the ferry boat, if you have to go.
No, I'm saying there's no security check to get on the ferry boat.
Well, there would be if you were going through the TTC.
Well, that would be. That's what I'm saying. Like currently,
The only thing that would be out of it would be the monorail, but you would have to do it at the resort then. They'd have to check you before you got on the monorail at the resort.
Well, I think the logistics of doing of creating a wider perimeter, secure perimeter here at Disney World, far more involved than it is at Disneyland. Obviously,
There's a lot more access.
yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know that we'd be comparing apples to apples here, but I think where Disneyland is concerned, for the way it's set up, I think it's a great idea. I think it's going to make things a lot easier. It's going to streamline things a lot more, and it's just going to kind of give you, a more cohesive feel, I guess, because you'll just be able to walk freely through downtown Disney, which I love their downtown. I mean, I love ours now. Ours is really cool, but theirs is still very, very,
I
very
like
special. So you kind of be able to walk freely through them. So I'm excited about it.
All right, our second news story. Disney receives Golden Globe nominations for Moana and Zootopia. Golden Globe nominations have been released, and Disney has a few spots on the list. For Best Motion Picture Animated, Disney takes 2 of the 5 with Moana and Zootopia. Moana's song, How Far I'll Go, is also on the list, nominated for Best Original Song Motion Picture. So you said, what was a glaring thing is what's not on the list.
Finding Dory. Finding Dory, which got incredible reviews, has generated over $1 billion at the box office. Snubbed.
I liked Dory better than Moana as well, but it is also a sequel.
I was just going to say, there's the curse of the sequel out there, right?
Yeah.
They say a sequel almost never gets it.
But I just thought, the Globes this year were kind of notable for snubs.
Yeah.
Because there were a few of them, just not necessarily Disney, but I thought Finding Dory, that it wasn't nominated, was kind of a snub.
Yeah.
Because I think they deserve to have 3 slots, not 2, personally.
Yeah.
because I think Zootopia deserves a place there. I haven't seen Moana, but from what I've heard, it
No, it
deserves a place there.
Yeah.
And so does Finding Dory.
Yeah.
So I think that qualifies as a snub, but also, most of the cast of Game of Thrones wasn't nominated this year. House of Cards was completely shut out of nominations. So there were a number of notable snubs, but that one really stood out to me because I fully expected Finding Dory to get a nomination. Now, what's going to be interesting is whether or not it's going to, what the Oscar nominations are going to look like. They're not the winners tend to be a good indicator of who's going to win the Oscars, but the nominations are oftentimes different.
I'm very excited that our favorite new show is nominated, and only after half a season.
Which one is this?
This Is Us. I don't know anybody. Have you watched it?
Oh, it's
I keep hearing
excellent.
a lot
Is that,
about it.
is that the show Julie watches?
No, you're talking about.
You're going to have to be
Yeah,
more
she watched.
specific.
Oh, no, she talks about it.
She's only permitted to watch.
One show. That's all we have time for.
Is that the one I allow her to watch?
Which
Doesn't give her
describe
any
it a little
ideas?
It's about a family, and it takes place in modern day, and it takes place back in the 70s.
No, not that
And I don't think a single episode goes by that you don't sit there with your mouth open going, holy moly, I didn't see it. I didn't see it coming. It's a really, really good show. I don't know anybody that doesn't think it's
I
amazing.
have to check it out. There's a few that I have to check out. Stranger Things.
Yeah, you gotta watch that.
Yeah,
It got a
we're
lot of
gonna watch
noms. A lot of
Yeah,
nominations.
it did. It did.
What were the other animated films that got nominated?
It was
Did Sing get nominated?
My Life as a Zucchini and Kubo and the Two Strings.
Yeah. Okay. And Finding Dory didn't.
Wait, Sing was nominated for Best Animated Feature?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Finding Dory
Is
didn't.
Sing even out yet?
It's not out yet. It's been generating a lot of buzz.
Well,
And
also, okay, keep in mind, too, that the Golden Globes is the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, which, based on who you read and what you believe, is like one of the most corrupt organizations in terms of these nominations. That, because it's a small group. Whereas, the Oscars are registered members of the Academy in various different areas. This is just like, 100 or so foreign reporters that cover entertainment. So these guys are constantly getting wined and dined by the studios. They're getting, stars showing up at their kids' birthday parties. And that's how these nominations happen. So I don't know. Maybe.
But I'm looking forward to the Academy Awards this year more than these because this is the first year where all the diversity is starting to take effect too. Because they expanded the membership and they invited a lot more.
Look how they had to be
Hispanic-
shamed into it,
yeah.
though. Look how they had to be shamed
yeah,
into it.
yeah.
And in 2016,
I know.
that's a crime.
Yeah.
That's a crime. So, but
There's a bunch of movies that I keep hearing about that aren't even out yet that I'm excited to see. I want to see La La Land, and I want to see one called Moonrise.
Yeah, I've heard
That
a lot
sounds
about
really
that.
heard a
good.
lot of good things about that. Yeah.
So I'm excited to see some of them, but we just haven't had the chance. I don't even think they're playing yet.
Well, I've seen more movies in a movie theater this year than I think I have in the last 20 combined.
The last time we went to
And
a movie theater.
that is directly and completely a result of the remodel of Disney Springs, because I love being down there. I love the AMC. The Fork and Screen, I think, is great. I've had lots of good experiences. The food isn't healthy. Nothing there on my diet, but it's decent. It's not, no Michelin stars in the offing, but it's good.
You can press a button and someone will bring you M&Ms. That's my idea of heaven.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. And then, so we'll go there and, usually get a few friends together, go and do that, and then go over to Sprinkles for dessert afterwards, and Captain Crunch ice cream. So buttons with M&Ms and Captain Crunch ice cream. It is a perfect night.
Could be
We're
worse, for
chubby.
sure.
What's that?
There's a reason we're chubby.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I'm trying.
Pete's waiting to exhale.
I'm trying. Now, Facebook. I just posted this on my Facebook page earlier. Facebook does the On This Day. There's a picture of me and Nicole Mancini from Dizzapalooza 2009. I was at my heaviest. I was about, I want to say 270, 275. I was just like, whoa, wow, what a difference.
Did you have a bag of M&Ms in your hand? No.
Why did I do that a lot?
No. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that, in the
I need
last
to go
7
look.
years, I've, I'm
going
kind of
low
amazed.
now.
I'm
Yeah.
amazed that I've kept it off this past year. I really am. I'm really happy I've kept it off for the most part.
Okay, Rainer, you have to explain a tweet to me.
Okay.
Why were you eating Wendy's chicken nuggets in a Toys R Us parking lot?
Pete.
Don't. It's not,
It's not
a
a
secret.
secret if you
You
put it on
tweeted
Twitter.
it.
We go to personal training, and yesterday was a particularly hard day, and I'm having trouble standing up today. And Eli's out of town, and I was so hungry waiting for a friend to get out of work that I broke down and went through the Wendy's drive-thru, and I had to return something to Toys R Us. So I realized where I was, huddled in my car, parked in this dark corner, and I was just eating these chicken nuggets, crying because of my workout was hurting me so much. It was a low point in the
I
holiday
think for
season
Christmas
for me.
we
There's a
should
Lifetime movie in this somewhere.
Right. Marky Post. I think for Christmas we should start a therapy fund. And if you don't want people to know, Twitter's the wrong place to do it.
Trying to keep a secret. Right now, so Corey just looked at that picture I was talking
It's
about.
amazing. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous, right?
It's like Attack of the Monster that ate Pete Werner. That's what it looks like to me.
Moving
It's
on.
insane.
Yeah. It was when I saw it, I was like, whoa. So, yeah. All right.
All right, our next news story. Disney After Hours event at Magic Kingdom to return in January. Walt Disney World is bringing back their Disney After Hours event that was held at the Magic Kingdom in April and May of this year. This event gave a limited number of guests the chance to stay at the theme park 3 hours past closing time, with several attractions, food locations, and character meet and greets staying open as well. The cost was $149 per person and included complimentary bottled soda, water, and Mickey bars. The event was discontinued after its original run, seemingly because of low attendance, though guests who were there gave it high praise and said the low crowds made it feel like a VIP experience. It was rumored in November that the event would return, and Disney has now confirmed that this is true. Disney After Hours will be held January 20th and 27th, February 2nd, 9th, and 16th, March 2nd and 9th. Pricing is now $119 for all ages. And the event begins at 7 p.m., and you get to stay 3 hours after the park closes to day guests. I wonder if the price change reflects any other changes. Do you think you'll still get?
Well,
soda,
it said,
water?
it from what I understand, still the vast majority of attractions remain open. I think they'll probably cut back on some of the stores that remained open and maybe some of the other ancillary areas, because that was one of the things I noticed. And I think I was there the second to last party they did, or the last party they did. And we noticed that a number of venues that had been open previously, because they had everything open.
Yeah, the first time.
And the first several events, they had everything open. So every, attraction store was open. Every, food location, kiosk, everything was open. And then I noticed on the last one, they had cut back quite a bit of that. So I think that's where you'll see the cut. But at the end of the day, you're not going in there to shop at the Splash Mountain store. You're going in there to ride Splash Mountain without a wait. Now, what I thought was really funny, and this is anecdotal, but what I thought was really funny, remember all the screaming and yelling and 1% and Elite and all this other stuff that greeted this story when it was announced earlier this year that Disney was going to be doing it? The number of people posting, I'm so happy this is back. I can't wait. I can't wait to try it. I can't wait to do it. The number of people posting that boggles my mind. So it's anecdotal. I'm not doing a survey, but I think also the $119 price tag. This was a great event. I did it twice, and I can't wait to do it again. I thought it was magnetic, and at $119, I thought it was a great value at $149. At $119, it's even better. So I think these are going to fill up. Book your spots now, because I think these are going to sell out. I think what you're going to see them do is probably up the limit, because I believe the limit last time was like 3,000.
Yeah, something like
something in that
5,000.
area, 3,000 to 5,000.
Yeah.
I think what you'll see them do is up the cap a little bit and lower the price. And
Even that, I think, is going to be great. I mean, just as a photographer, knowing that you just have all the time in the world to set up a tripod and take these photos with nobody in it, it's wonderful.
precisely. So
I think people are, because I was one of those that thought, they're doing too much of this. And now it's sort of like that's the new way of life at Disney. I don't see them ever going back to not having extra events. So now it's sort of like you need to pick and choose, and this is one that's definitely worth the money.
Well, I think, look, okay, as we've said on the show many times, it's a business.
Oh,
okay, and they need to turn a
definitely.
profit. So now, the myopic way in which they do it and have done it this year is something we're going to talk about, I think, in our next show. But so they've certainly shot themselves in the foot more than once. But there is a way to add things at a premium that are also really good
Oh,
things.
definitely.
This is an example of it. The other thing, although I haven't tried it yet, we have to see how it shakes out. But the other thing I think has real potential to be one of those things is the express transportation
Oh,
option.
I agree with you on that one.
Which I know we're going to talk about in a little bit. Yeah. So there is this common ground. There is this area where Disney can get what they need, and we can get an experience that makes the vacation and the visit more special. That we don't feel like we're getting ripped off. We feel like we're getting value for what we're paying at $119 or $149 or $29 or whatever the price is for the experience. That we feel like we're getting something of value, and Disney's getting their business needs met. Now, if Disney just looks at it like that, instead of let's run the money vacuum up and down Main Street as many times as we can, if they put some thought into it and hone in on these experiences and say, this worked, this didn't, let's try this, let's try that, do more things in that vein, you know what? Give me some after-hour events like this at Epcot.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I'm looking forward to trying the after hours event, but also getting the private cabana at the same time.
At the same time.
Oh, wow.
Imagine this, an extra hours event at Epcot during Food and Wine where the kiosks stay open.
Yes.
No.
Right?
Oh, no. I think that was Corey's liver talking. Oh, no.
So I think that, and again, seeing the response, on Facebook, on the boards from people about the extra hours event, I'm like, okay, now everybody can't wait for it. A year ago, 11 months ago, you were ready to burn down the castle.
However, I think there was, like you said, everybody who did it came back and loved it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that everybody talked up and said what a great experience it was, people then started to say, well, maybe it's not as bad as we thought.
Right. Exactly.
Cost-wise.
I think that one's better than the extra hour, 2 hours you got in the morning. I think this nighttime one is way more popular than that.
Well, but even the people that did that said it was so worth the money in the morning event. Said it was so worth. Now, we haven't heard if that's coming back.
Right. No, we haven't.
But I think this one was more popular. So I'm excited. I'm really excited they're bringing it back. I'm booking my dates. I think it's absolutely worth every penny you pay for it. So.
Excellent. All right, we actually have a fourth news story because this is breaking news. This came out this morning. SeaWorld Entertainment to debut new Middle East park in 2022. SeaWorld has revealed the location of its first international park, Abu Dhabi. Orlando-based SeaWorld and Mural Asset Management, an Abu Dhabi-based tourism destination ownership firm, announced that SeaWorld Abu Dhabi is set to open on Yas Island in 2022. The new water park marks the first international park for SeaWorld and, more notably, the first park that will debut without any orcas. Yet will still focus on the up-close animal experiences and cutting-edge attractions the marine theme park has been working on to draw guests. In addition, the new park...
Drug guests?
Yeah, that's what
I've heard
thought I
that
heard.
too.
Draw guests.
Draw. I thought he said drug guests.
Yeah.
To draw guests.
Allowed in Abu Dhabi.
In addition,
Well, that's what SeaWorld's come to now. They have to drug their guests.
In addition, the new park will also include the United Arab Emirates' first marine life research, rescue, and rehabilitation and return facility, which will open before the theme park in the middle of a desert. I'm going to skip all of the quotes from the people.
I wonder how the 300 plus people that just got laid off here by SeaWorld Entertainment feel about the investment being made in a theme park in Abu Dhabi. It's interesting. It's an interesting development.
If you follow anything about Abu Dhabi at all, this is the upcoming place to be. This is where things are being built in hotels and the super luxury, the super rich are going.
That's
So-
where the oil is.
People get laid off at Disney all the time, and they open Shanghai. So it's one of those things that it's appealing to a whole different group of people.
But it's different if Disney laid off 3% of their staff, because it's effectively what SeaWorld just did. They laid off 3% of their staff, and they're, and I get it. You know what? Pete is not going to bother them. I was, I said it in a funny way in the intro, but it's serious. They're opening up in Abu Dhabi. There's not going to be any protests in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
There's not going to be any of that. Pete, that's someplace that's not going to happen.
Because the people over there are so rich, they'll have their own whales.
Really. They are whales.
They are whales,
In
they
a
are.
certain sense of the word.
I would like to read the last sentence. SeaWorld Abu Dhabi joins an impressive portfolio of Miral theme parks, including Ferrari World, Yaz Water World, and the new Warner Brothers World Abu Dhabi. So, yeah, right next to Ferrari World. Go to SeaWorld.
Yeah,
I thought it was pronounced Yas.
What did I say, Yaz?
Yeah, but
you're thinking upstairs at Eric's.
I don't know now because I was like people go Yas. That's what I was doing during the Daily Fix. We'll just call it a joke.
All right.
Okay,
call
we'll
it
go
one.
with that.
Yeah, really.
Forget it.
All right. Well, thank you, John. That will do it for the news. Are we?
We are. I just thought that was going to go a little bit more than a couple seconds.
Well, if there's something you'd like to add, by all
Ran
means.
out of Abu Dhabi jokes, have we?
Where is
You want to
Abu
talk about
Dhabi?
that Yaz thing again?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I do wonder what it will be
Craig
like.
knows what I'm
since
doing.
SeaWorld is only licensing their name to the park, and that's the extent of it. They're not building or operating it. So, is Abu Dhabi that good at
They-
doing these things
Well,
themselves?
there's a lot of money in the area.
Where is Abu Dhabi in relation to Dubai?
Have you seen a penguin drive a Ferrari?
That's a serious question.
Hang a left at the palm tree.
The Wawa.
Are they close? Well, I only say this because I've read an extensive amount about numerous theme parks being built in Dubai right now as well. So that's why I'm just curious if it's in the
Well,
same
Dubai is
vicinity.
actually building islands that are shaped like palm trees, so theme parks aren't a big stretch.
And making lakes and giant bodies of water. It's crazy. I don't
Craig,
know.
are you ready? We've dragged this around the parking
I'll
lot
have
too
to
many
look
times.
it up.
Oh yeah, we are. Hello.
Is he in Millennium Mall?
Yeah,
Oliver, can you hear us?
I don't hear any.
He can hear me, but we can't hear him.
Are you muted on your end?
No, you're all good
There
now.
he is.
Very
All right, so as we do every week, we cut to usually Oliver and Steve. Steve's feeling a little under the weather today, but Oliver, I'm guessing, is in the Grand Floridian. Is that right, Oliver?
I certainly am, yes. I came over to the Grand to check out the
Will you
Christmas
stop
tree that they've got
spinning?
Still.
For the love
It's like the Blair
of
Witch Project.
sweet
Just stand
God.
still.
Sorry, I'm a little thrown off. I'm going to be really honest. I just had the weirdest experience. I was just coming out of the bathroom, and a listener noticed me as I was coming out of the bathroom. It was just really, really weird. So, it caught me off guard.
Well, it's better than the listener recognizing you while you're in the bathroom.
Yeah, that
That's happened.
happens.
I know
That hasn't
Matthew told
happened to me
it
yet,
happened
thank God.
once. So,
So what are you doing?
I'm at the Grand checking out the Christmas tree and the gingerbread house.
Excellent.
Would you like to see?
Do you have any information to share with us?
I certainly do. Let me show off the Christmas tree first.
Again,
So-
only answer the question that was asked and not offer nothing else, because that makes such compelling video.
I can only hear like every other word, so I can't tell what everyone's
That's all right.
saying
We're being
sometimes,
brilliant.
but-
That's all you need to
Okay,
know.
so here on the Christmas tree at the ground, they've got some. Of course, everyone knows they theme it to the resort it's in, but they've got some nice things. One of the things that really stands out to me is the swan that they've got in there, which is very nice. And then they have the birdhouse as well, which is similar to the real birdhouse you see in the Grand just here, the birdhouse elevator, and the one over here just behind it.
Making me nauseous.
Oliver, I didn't get sick on a cruise ship, and you're giving me seasickness.
Oh, my legs are still going now from the boat, so I apologise. Maybe that's what it is. I thought I was holding it still. The other thing, of course, I've got to show you is the gingerbread house just there.
That looks really
It's
tiny.
made of gingerbread. They're on their 18th year now. It's been running since 1999. The thing that scares me the most is it's been 18 years since 1999. So It's just making me feel incredibly ancient, to be honest.
Okay, I'm going to drive over there and beat you bloody. Okay, my 25-year-old starts talking about, God, I feel so old. Shut up.
But no, it's running until January 1st, and if you come down to the Grand Floridian, you can check it out between 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. That's the gingerbread house. The tree's out all the time. They don't bother putting that up and down between 10 and 10.
They take the gingerbread house down?
Yes.
No, they just close it.
Oh.
And what do they have for sale in the gingerbread house?
Gingerbread things. No, they've not. They've got like an array of sweets. So they do sell gingerbread, obviously.
Oliver.
But if you don't want gingerbread, they've got other like regular cookies.
Do you want me to
and
text
desserts.
him that he's on probation?
What I like Oliver to do is run up to the first person he sees and say, God bless us, everyone. This is very Dickensian.
It's actually surprisingly quiet in here, so my voice would carry.
I was making
They
fun of
think
you.
I'm some sort of actor included with the entertainment, I'm sure. I'm definitely, no, I don't dare do that. I'd get thrown out.
Out of all the resorts.
Yeah, really. All right, Oliver. Well, enjoy your day at the Grand Floridian. Go have lunch at that crappy restaurant you love so much, the Grand Floridian Cafe.
I love it there. It's awesome.
I know
don't
you
why
do.
don't like
I know
it.
you do. Poor thing.
Because the meat's gray and it reminds him of home. All right, I get it. Right to
Okay.
me.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye,
Oliver.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to Roundtable Rapid Fire. We'll start with you, John.
All right, Walt Disney World is going to introduce the express transportation that Pete mentioned during the news segment. There's a special guest add-on to the Park Hopper ticket. It enables guests with Park Hopper tickets to travel more conveniently than ever before by transporting them from inside one of the theme parks straight to another. Once you've entered the park, you'll be able to get Disney buses through backstage areas to take you from park to park. For one-day service, it can be added to a Park Hopper ticket for $15 per person. For multi-day service, the cost is $24 per person. But I don't know if that is your length of stay or how that works.
My
exactly.
understanding is that is for the length of stay.
Well, that's pretty good if you've got 10-day ticket.
I thought it said
Well,
for up to 7 days. Is that what
yeah,
it's?
for up to 7 days.
7 days, yeah.
All right, I did not see that in my news story. Sorry. It'll be available.
I could be wrong. I thought I read that.
It'll be available at the 4 main theme parks from 10 a.m. until close, beginning December 7th. So it's already started. This is, to me, feels like it's sort of taking off of the VIP experience. Because of the VIP, you can do the thing where you go park to park to park with your group and
Right.
they take you backstage.
And they're taking you backstage and putting you on a bus. And somebody was saying that it's not on demand. It's, you got to wait 30 minutes for. Well, okay, I wasn't expecting for $15 that
Bus
I was going to
waiting.
get a Suburban and a bodyguard.
Or they were going to come in with a wagon and drag you around or something.
Yeah, really. So, but
It only lasts till January 7th. It's like a test.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
this is a
I didn't
test.
see
This
that
is
either.
not a permanent add-on. They're going to see how this works. But again, it just kind of goes back to what I was saying before. It looks like they're trying to come at some level. I think they've gotten the message that some of the things they're doing just aren't resonating well. So they're trying to think more proactively, I guess, about what is it that we can add for a reasonable cost that people really want. I don't know. I don't know that there was a big demand for $700 a day cabanas in Tomorrowland, but this helping people get to and from the parks faster on a Park Hopper ticket. Okay.
From the majority of the comments I read on social media, I mean, this didn't have the same. People weren't angry about this as
No.
much as they were about the after hours. So I think a lot of people said, "Oh, this would be great to do this." And there are a lot of people that just read the title and they think they're just getting rid of transportation. Like, no, you must buy this. But I think a lot of people, what I read, that would do this or try it out.
I think it was well received.
Yeah, I think it's going to help increase people buying Park Hopper tickets. Not only are they charging extra, but now instead of, going to Park Hop was a big production. Now people might think to get a Park Hopper ticket so that they can do this.
And eventually the express transportation is going to be so crowded, people are going to go, oh, no, I'll just go out and get a bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be.
Did it say what they're going to do for annual pass holders yet? I know.
No, I haven't
the
seen
question
that.
came up.
There's also something about being backstage if you're a true Disney fan. I mean, I know it can ruin the magic and all that, but if you're a true Disney fan, it's kind of neat seeing pieces of backstage and seeing like certain ride vehicles
I'll tell you
being
this,
worked on.
They will sanitize the route.
I'm sure they
Sure.
would.
Yeah.
You will not see anything.
You're not gonna see dumpsters.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, Cinderella smoking.
Yeah.
I think it would be, you see the people that try to go to all 4 parks in a day too. I think you're going to see a lot more of that.
Yeah. Could be.
Have at it.
I think it's a good idea. Let's see how it gets executed. Mm-hmm. So, all right. Thank you, John. Kevin.
Adventures by Disney has upped their luxury standard also. You can now book private tours. It takes a minimum of 10 people. This would just be your group, and the price is commensurate with a private tour. The prices will be higher. As I said, the minimum is 10 people, and I would read you the list of destinations, but it's pretty much everywhere that ABD goes. And with 10 people, you would get 1 guide. At 15, they would move it to 2. As the number of people increases, as you increase the number of people in your group, the price would go down for everyone.
So it's like the regular price, but then there's a surcharge for being a private group of 10.
Correct.
Which is the same thing we deal with if we don't, if we have a group and we don't fill a certain number of seats, we have to pay a higher price on
Right.
it.
This is kind of what we do.
Yeah.
We make private groups, and now you'll be able to do it on your own. Your family could do it. Your friends could do it. A family reunion, bachelorette party. It's a bad idea. But yeah, you can book a private group.
Just be forewarned that you will have to sign a contract and you'll have to guarantee the group. So
You
if
will
someone
be-
in your family decides they can't go, you're responsible.
You're going to be
for the-
financially responsible for the contract. So.
Now, the max is the same number. That is the max on all of ABD's regular trips. Most trips, it's 40 people. So if you had a large group, but you can sign up for a private group if you want to do this and you think it's a great idea and you'd like your family to do it. You know how to get a hold of me. Kevin
else?
at Dreams Unlimited. Don't stop talking. It's my plug. Kevin at DreamsUnlimitedTravel.com.
I also want to say, too, this is a great thing for the folks who are worried about a trip being canceled
Right.
for not enough people. If you know you've got at least 10 people, then you're guaranteed that this trip will go. So that's
I think we have to reiterate that. You have to have a minimum of 10 people.
Right.
And someone has to be the group leader. And as you said, sign a contract. So what would happen is,
I might have pulled this plug already.
if you're going to talk to people that you like to cruise with, or you talk to people that you go to Disney World with, just keep in mind one of you is going to be responsible, and that's kind of a big thing.
It's a big thing. Yeah.
Right.
Because, on some of these trips, you're basically saying, I'm guaranteeing $70,000
Right.
minimum for this trip to go. And
When you book a cruise as a group, if someone backs out, no one was responsible for that cruise. Everybody's responsible for their own. And while each person would be responsible for their own payment, if they back out, the group leader has signed the contract.
right. So I think it's a great idea, though. I was really excited to see it.
It gives us some opportunities. We have some folks who have asked to go to other destinations or return to destinations where we don't think we'll get 30 to 40 people who want to go. So we may put together smaller groups.
I was just going to say, this might expand our offerings.
That's what I was thinking.
Because we could take a smaller group, and, as John said, we sometimes can't fill 35 or 40 seats, but we could probably fill 10 or 15.
Mm-hmm.
I would always try and make it at least 15, so we had the 2 guides. Two
Right.
guides seems...
2 guides works.
Right.
Works well.
So keep your eyes and ears open, and if this is something you think you want to do privately... Now, this is not able to be booked through the regular ABD line. You have to speak directly to the groups department, and they're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. Kathy.
The Walt Disney World Railroad is going under rehab January 9th, and they just extended the length. It's now down until March 2nd. It was sometime in the middle of February, so they've extended it like 2 weeks. So if you're planning on riding the railroad, you're out of luck in January.
Do you know what
February.
they're doing in the rehab? Is it just a cleanup or?
I guess, yeah, they haven't said what they're doing.
Probably maintenance.
Yeah.
Popcorn cleanup.
Is
Yeah.
that a stock photo or is that our photo?
That is our photo.
That is a gorgeous photo.
Thank you.
Holy smokes. No, it really is.
Corey probably took it.
We have
Maybe Pete.
we have good photographers,
Well, you know,
good equipment.
it happens.
All right, thank you, Kathy. Corey.
Nightly schedule for double fireworks spectaculars at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Earlier this week, Disney announced that from December 16th through the 31st, Star Wars: A Galactic Spectacular and Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam would both be shown each night at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Star Wars will run at 10:30 on December 16th and 9:30 on December 17th. On those days, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam will run at 7:45 on the 16th and at 6:45 on the 17th. Beginning December 18th, Star Wars will begin at 6:15. Is it still dark? Is it dark at that time?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
like
5:30
5.
it gets dark.
Okay. And Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam will begin at 9 p.m.
I just want you to know he says that better than you do.
He
Well,
does.
I can't even say Bam right now. I will go completely hoarse. So I'm
So
trying to.
disappointed.
The New Orleans man can't say "bam" like Emerald Lagasse.
You have to say it.
Jingle bell, jingle bam.
There you go. Excellent.
Oh, I can't even laugh.
So this
right.
is what, in response to the fact that no one was showing up for the Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam
maybe that-
fireworks? And
No, this is in response to the fact that they are doing anything they can to retain people in that park because most of it's under construction.
I think people were not excited about
But
the holiday
I-
one and decided to leave.
I'll give them credit. They really, regardless of what you may think of the new nighttime shows, I give them credit. They are trying. They really are trying to make the park as appealing as possible given the circumstances. So I can't fault them.
Yeah.
I can't fault them there.
In this case, I do think a lot of it was the vocal response about Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam. A lot of people were upset that they were taking away Star Wars, especially with the fact that Rogue One was being released in December.
Yeah.
And they wanted that for the excitement involved in it. And I even was told that Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam was a test to
Bam.
see how little they could get away with pyrotechnics in a nighttime show and still keep people happy. Because Star Wars: A Galactic
they got their
Spectacular
answer.
has more. They got their answer. There's just not enough. And so I think that's also, too, now they're going to balance them out, see which one people like more. It's going to be Star Wars. The Star Wars show is beautiful, it's moving, and it's perfect for fans. So
I also think the projection thing, I don't want to say it's run its course, but it's not new
It's
anymore.
been done.
Right.
Yeah.
It's,
it was done best in Disneyland for Disneyland
it was
forever.
actually done best in Disneyland Paris.
Paris agreed. Agreed for the 20th
I've never been
anniversary.
there.
We know.
One day.
No,
Never mind.
no, it's forbidden.
And then once we get back from Shanghai, that'll be the best. We haven't seen it.
Wherever Craig hasn't been,
Right, exactly.
that's the best place ever. All right, thank you, Corey. Rhino.
So there is I already forgot what it was called, a garden party to be hosted at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa on this Friday,
It's a great photo.
which is
No, there's nothing about it.
Would you just pat him on the back or something?
I'm sorry, not Friday. It's Saturday too. But anyway, it's Saturday, December 17th. The event will be open to the public, no reservation needed, and will take place from 7 to 10 p.m. You just have to make your way to the Mary Poppins Garden near 1900 Park Fair to enjoy the live music, where they will also have specialty cocktails for sale. So I know it says open to the public, but I assume that means you should be staying on Disney property. Like it's not.
No, if it's open to the public, then it should be open anyway.
Yeah,
Wait.
they're not gonna.
Is the Mary Poppins Garden the one just outside the door?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not expecting a lot of people.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
If
That-
that's the
it's-
Mary Poppins Garden just outside 1900 Park Fair,
It just says open to public, no reservations needed. Yeah. So
I just think that's
What are the
kind of-
dates again for that?
just Saturday.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Saturday. Just Saturday.
Yesterday.
The 17th. Yeah.
Okay.
It just doesn't seem like that's a big area.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't. I don't even know. I don't know what it is. I don't know whose idea was like just pop up a quick thing and whatever. But, I don't know.
You know what they say.
Maybe they should have called it Garden Party Bam.
All right, thank you, Rhino. Gregory,
Okay, so
the last rapid fire of the year.
Yes, and it's
It's all on you now.
It's a jam-packed one because last week we weren't around to see it or talk about it, but there's been a lot of updates to Star Wars experience that were announced for Disney's Hollywood Studios. The first one is
the
that
Rhythm Nation is going to perform.
I can't top that. The update's coming to Star Wars: A Galaxy Far, Far Away stage show, and it will start featuring elements from Rogue One, as well as these guys, the AWR Troopers, the new Stormtroopers that are a part of the Advanced Weapons Research Division. As Corey already mentioned, a Galactic Spectacular will begin returning nightly. Star Tours will go back to being random again. They are getting rid of you have to go to Jakku every single time, and going back to you could go anywhere.
But they didn't update it for Rogue One, unfortunately. But I guess
No, but they will be for Episode 8. They'll have an update. So, Launch Bay will change out some of the props, add some Rogue One props in. Golly. And the Star Wars Path of the Jedi film has finally been updated to include Rogue One as well. And starting January 2nd, a new Star Wars theme tour will be offered at Hollywood Studios on Mondays and Saturdays, which is a 7-hour guided tour that will include a ride on Star Tours, a meet and greet with Chewbacca and Kylo Ren, an insider tour of Launch Bay, a viewing of Star Wars Path of the Jedi, and a Star Wars themed meal at Backlot Express. Then you go to the Galactic Spectacular dessert party and watch the show. And during the day, guests age 4 to 12 will also get to take part in Jedi training trials at the temple. If you were part of the tour, it's $129 per person. If you're smart, I think you can do this in like 3 hours.
I say 7 hours.
Please don't make me do this.
Merry Christmas.
3 hours and a lot less money.
7
just
hours.
the price for the dessert party and your meal at Backlot Express.
I was bored with him telling about it.
Yeah, you could tell I started to waver towards the end. I got tired.
Well, it wasn't you.
It could be worse.
It's the material, and I can't imagine. I don't even like to do things I like. For
I want to
7
check
hours.
it out. I want to see what it is.
It would have to
First
be
park
2
day
days.
of the year.
no, it's not. It's before our
I'm
first.
saying
Oh,
whichever
I see what you're
one of us does our first park day of the year. We attend with Pete.
saying. It'll be
this.
yeah.
Or maybe I take all of you. I don't know. Or none of you. Maybe I
Describe
just
all
want
of you. Just describe all of you.
You.
No.
You.
Yeah.
I think it's time you had a park day. I think we should assign Kevin a theme park
Sick
day.
ahead of time
7
already.
hours of Star Wars. I think that should be.
Oh my God! Remember I said heaven was somebody bringing you M&Ms? This is the other way.
All right, thank you, Craig. That is going to do it for our final live show of 2016, but fret not. We will have another show next week with our year in review. So on behalf of all of us, want to thank everybody for your support this year. It's been a great year for us and the show and the team, and we're really looking forward to 2017, but we also want to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We'll see you again next year. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Stay out of the damn lakes.